Hello, welcome back to A Course in Miracles. I'm Tomas, and yeah, we're going to take a look yet again here at getting out of our own way today. That's the theme, and the theme is also allowing, and it's not criticizing God at all. It's about getting out of our own way and allowing things to be exactly as they are, and not being God's critic. We may not feel like that, but I'll explain what I mean by that, and I'll explain what the Course also means by that, specifically in the workbook, lesson 268, where we are today. Let all things be exactly as they are. That's the idea. Let all things be exactly as they are. So in the italicized prayer that immediately follows the idea, when you look at it in written form, right, it says, "Let me not be your critic, Lord." That's the first part of the sentence. Yeah, let me not be your critic, Lord, today and judge against you. Oof, right? That's a very stark, and it could actually, if you see it as harsh, that's one possible way to interpret that is, oh, yeah. So how do we do that? Well, we do that every time we get in our own way. That means we do that every time we think we know best, every time we think we alone know what to say, what to do in every circumstance without fail. Every time we try to interpose the way we want things to be in place of the way things are. If that sounds like misalignment, it is. It is. It's what we do, and whether we think about ourselves in this way or not, we actually are being God's critic. If we look at something and we say, well, I wish you would have painted that blue instead of green, and yeah, that field of grass really isn't that pretty. It's a patch of grass that's dying on the outer edge. It's all yellow, filled with cutworms, and couldn't you have done better than that? Couldn't you have made me a little bit taller? Couldn't you have given me a little bit more hair at age 50? This is the way people act when they look in the mirror and say, well, I don't like my nose. I don't like my ears. Oh, I hate my blah, 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 right? You know, I mean, they criticize themselves. They criticize the world. They criticize other people. And I'm sort of having fun with some of these examples, yet that's really kind of the way we behave. It's petulant, isn't it? It's like a child. Oof, yeah, like a child. An unruly child that is going to throw a tantrum if he or she doesn't get what they want right now, like right now. So it's how we act. I mean, really, if you're really honest, and I invite you to be, if you're really honest with yourself, you've got to admit that even as grown-ups, supposed grown-ups, right? Even as adults, we act and behave like little children. We throw tantrums. We try to manipulate the world, and it's always futile. Because how can you manipulate something that's not existent? How can you manipulate something that's not real? Happily, what is real doesn't require any manipulation. It doesn't require any thought. It doesn't require any effort on our part to be as it is. The effort comes in our simple acknowledgement that we can and need to and want to see things differently. So we allow the truth to be as it is. We allow truth simply to be. We, in other words, allow God to do his thing. Because that is perfect. That is loving. It's constant. And nothing that we try to orchestrate or manipulate is constant. It's ever changing. We doubt our own motives all the time when we're acting on our own. Now, by contrast, when we let the Holy Spirit decide for us, as the Course recommends that we do and encourages us to do, we can be certain of a loving, positive, highest good outcome. Certain. Now, can you say that about the choices that you make in life? That's the choice that we all need to make, is to allow truth to simply be. Spiritual practice involves a lot of volition, and it's a choice to allow. It's the choice to accept who you are. It's not this. Give you a hint, right? That's not it. It's a form that you see talking to you right now. It's a form you hear talking to you right now, but that's not who I am. It's not who you are. So when we make the decision to simply allow truth to be as it is, to get out of our own way, then we experience all of the beauty that is, all of the joy that is, the oneness, the love, the limitlessness, all of it. And we don't, in that case, act like little children that cry and throw a fit and flail on the floor because they don't get a piece of candy. I mean, is it really that big a deal if you don't get the watermelon flavored Jolly Rancher? I mean, is it really that big a deal that you have to go to bed because you're exhausted? Right? Is it really that big a deal that you have to share with your younger brother? Right? And we can have fun with some of these analogies and examples, but that's how we're behaving as adults when we desperately, desperately attempt and strive to make things other than they really are. They're perfect as they are. And it's a matter of our awakening to that. So happy awakening, and thank you for joining me.